This is Captain Ataman. Wrong issue. This is Captain Ataman, issue number 1. The first issue of his series from 1987, and it mostly deals with the character's originy and his reintroduction into the DC universe after Christmas on Infinite Earths. Captain Ataman, he used to be one of the charlatan characters, and then after Christmas on Infinite Earths, like Blue Beetles and the others, he was brought into the main DC universe. Back in the 1960s, in the days of hippies and also everyone smelling awful, Adam, that is Captain Ataman's real name, he was arrested for treason, and he agreed to a crazy science experiment to shorten his prison sentence. And the mad scientist involved, he is called Dr. Mengele. And then there's this army general who hates Captain Ataman. He is called General Ross. And it is using thermonuclear energy and crazy alien alloys. And Captain Ataman, he seems to disintegrate. Then we have a little scene showing us Adam's wife, his 2 children, and his best friend who is ethnically diverse. They're all hoping that when it's all over, Adam will be free again. But then jump cut to 20 years later, and out of nowhere, Captain Ataman, he reforms at the Air Force Base, and nobody has a clue what's going on. The Air Force or the Army or whoever, they start attacking him, and he's got all his Captain Ataman powers now, but he doesn't really know how to really use them, so they are able to capture him. And then General Ross, he realises what it is and who it is. He goes to visit Captain Ataman and tells him that he was presumed dead for 20 years and that the world has changed now and that loads of famous people have died, and so has his wife. And General Ross, he doesn't tell anyone else what he knows about Captain Ataman. It's like his little secret, but then Dr. Mengele, he manages to hear about it, and look, he's old and like being kept alive by machines. And because he is a smart doctor, he works out what has happened as well, and he confronts General Ross, and political intrigue and drama. It's a big part of this book. General Ross, he has concocted a plan to fire Captain Ataman into space in a rocket to get rid of him or to kill him. And he also tries to have Mengele assassinated to cover his tracks, since he is the only other person who knows the truth, that Captain Ataman isn't an alien terrorist or whatever. But Mengele, he suspects this and his bodyguard saves him. Then Captain Ataman, he survives the destruction of the rocket and he comes back to Earth, where he immediately begins to try and find his family. He goes to his old house, but he sees another family living there. And this time he is met by Dr. Mengele, who worked out this is where Captain Ataman would naturally go. And he explains what has happened, and Captain Ataman, he leaves with Mengele to give us a series of scenes explaining the ins and outs of his powers and how the experiment caused them, as well as giving us a display of what he can do, like how he's a bit invulnerable, or how he can fly, or how he has like loads of energy sort of powers, and how he's like super strong now. But General Ross, he gets wind that Captain Ataman survived and that he is living with Dr. Mengele. So he shows up with the army to deal with it, and there's a colouring mistake right here. Look, General Ross, he is coloured black. But what happens is General Ross, he takes Captain Ataman to his wife's grave, and we find out that after Adam's supposed death, the wife remarried, and worse yet, she married General Ross. We also get our setup for the series. because Captain Atamant's his old presidential pardon for taking part in that test is no longer valid, they will offer him a pardon if he agrees to serve the government as a superhero. So he becomes Captain Atamant, and his mission is to be like an undercover superhero working for the army. This is just an originy issue, and even the more unique and interesting parts of Captain Atamant's originy, they're a bit reserved for the last couple of pages, but I still enjoy this. I don't know if a straight originy story is the best use for the debut issue of an all-new series, but as a fan of Captain Atamant and this series, I enjoy this one. I rate it 7 thumbs up.